All right, in this video, we're going to dive into the script and talk about the first 5 seconds. And before we get to that, I do have to kind of zoom out and talk to you about one sales philosophy or kind of big picture thing in sales that you really do need to understand if you want to be successful selling really anything. And that is sales and a script is ultimately a negotiation of time. Okay. And so I don't think I've ever presented it quite this way in a training before. It's something I've realized lately, but it really is a negotiation in time. And what I mean by that is if you can talk to a merchant, if you can get enough of their time, you're probably going to convince them. In other words, if I have a business owner and I meet them at a barbecue and we're sitting here kicked back, relaxed, we know we both have an hour to talk, and I bring up cash discounting to this small business owner, I am very confident that with my knowledge of the industry and my belief in this program and my passion for it, I could convince them in an hour that it's a really good idea. The problem when you're trying to sell people is that you don't have an hour, okay? So at its core, every script is really a negotiation in time. We're just trying to negotiate to get a little bit more time with them. And understanding that fundamental concept, especially with phone sales, where time, it's a real negotiation in time because they can just hang up on you whenever they want. Understanding that really helps to inform why I have the script that I have. A lot of the way I've designed the script is not just, okay, what do I want to say and how do I want to say it, but what do I say in order to keep them on the phone a little longer? What do I say to keep them engaged in our face-to-face conversation a little bit longer? Because I need to have that time in order to sell them. So you say, well, what's the first line in the script? Well, the first line in the script is really that opening salvo of, I need a little tiny bit of your time. And this is key. In the sales script, I hate sales scripts where people come in and say, hey, do you have 10 minutes for me to talk to you about something? It's like, really? 10 minutes? I don't even know who you are. I have a busy day. I have employees. I have customers, I have things to do. No, I don't have 10 minutes. I'm not interested, But see, what you have to do is right off the bat, you want to get that tacit permission for just a little bit of time. And then we're going to get permission for a little bit more time and then a little bit more time. And it's this negotiation in time where we're just trying to get another few seconds to say something else. Okay. Now, obviously the goal of the script is to get you to a point to where they're actually ready to talk to you for a little while about cash discounting, and we're going to get there. But initially, we're really just trying to have a little bit of time so we can even talk to them, all right? Now, last thing I need to tell you about the script, and then we'll dive in, is I am a big, big believer in selling by stages. Selling by stages. And so what that means is that when I walk into a business, my goal is actually not to sell them, okay? When I walk into a business, my goal is to talk to the decision maker, right? Once I'm talking to the decision maker, my goal is to get information from them and get them interested. I want to get them asking me questions. That's really my goal. So my first goal is get a decision maker. When I have a decision maker, I want to get them interested enough that they're asking me questions, right? Then my next goal is to convert that interest into a solid appointment when I can actually explain the program. Now, that could be right now. It could literally be like, let's set it up right now and do it. And it's a one-stop close, and that's great. Okay. Or especially if I'm on the phone, it's probably going to be a, two-stop thing. I'm on the phone to set up an appointment to come out. But even face-to-face for me, a lot of times it ended up being a 2-call close anyway. So I figured out I'd rather just have kind of control over that. And my goal was to be able to come back. So we really want to have these stages set up. So keep in mind that our initial goal when we go into a business is to get a little bit of time, right? Whether we're calling or in person, let's get a little bit of time from them. And let's get them to the point where we know we are talking to a decision maker and we know that they're somewhat interested. Okay, so with that in mind, let's take a look at our script and dive in. So you'll notice the first line says, hey, how are you doing today? Great. My name is Bob Smith, and I just have a quick question for you. So let's break this down, okay? Number one, the first part there, hey, how are you doing today? Obviously, that part is open to interpretation. When you actually walk into a business, you may or may not say exactly that, of course, but this is kind of your initial, 2 or 3 seconds of small talk, of just, hey, how's it going? It might be, wow, can you believe this weather out here? It could be something along those lines, it could be something else. But the idea is that we're going to walk in or on the phone and we're going to just have a real nice, slightly over positive attitude. And we're just like, hey, how you doing today? Okay. Now, again, on the phone, keep in mind that you're generally going to be a little bit more over the top positive than you are in person. When you're face to face, being a little bit understated but still really positive, that's going to come across better. You really are going for that super confident approach. And so when I walk into a business, it's, hey, how are you doing today? Great to see you. Great to see you. Hey, my name is James Shepard. I've just got a quick question for you. Right. And so I want to have that kind of understated attitude. Now, when I'm on the phone, totally different. When I'm on the phone, it's, hey, how are you doing today? Good, good. Yeah, my name is James Shepard, and I just have a really quick question for you. So you notice that difference in tone. I said the same thing, but I said it very differently. On the phone, again, we want to be more over the top positive. It's going to, people like that grabs their attention a little bit more. When you're in person, you're going to be a little more understated, but again, still very positive. Let's be really clear. If you're in a bad mood, and you're feeling desperate or you're feeling afraid or something like that, and you walk into a business or call a business in that state of mind, understand that there is nothing that I can tell you that's going to help you make a sale. You are not going to make a sale in that state of mind. Just a key underlying principle of sales in general is you got to get yourself into a good mood. Okay. People don't want to deal with an angry, upset, depressed, salesperson. They just don't. They generally don't want to deal with salespeople at all anyway. Right. And so you have to get yourself in a frame of mind where it's like, I am going to help somebody today. People are going to like me today. I am going to go out there and do good. I mean, that's how I feel. When I talk to small business owners, I legitimately believe that they are very fortunate that they've made my acquaintance because I passionately want to help them save money. I want to help them make their life better. I want to bring more money to the bottom line. I want them to be able to put their kids in college. I want them to be able to grow their business because of the relationship they have with me. And I take it very seriously. I take it very personally. And that passion is going to come through. And when that passion comes through, people are going to want to talk to you. Okay. Now, we get past that first line, asking them how they're doing, and they'll usually say, hey, yeah, we're doing pretty good. Great. Glad to hear it. Now we're going to go into a very important line here because there's two things that matter. Number one, use your full name. All right. Use your full name. People are going to trust you better when you use your full name. It's part of data exchange. We're not going to get all the details of sales psychology here, but long story short, when you exchange data with someone, that builds trust, and giving somebody your last name and your first name is very crucial. And then secondly, notice the question here that I'm saying to them, not even asking a question really, but I'm just saying, I just have a quick question for you. So this is our negotiation in time, right? I just have a quick question for you. So what does that do? Well, when you're calling somebody and they realize you're in sales, they very quickly want to shut you down. What we're doing here is we're actually not even letting them know that we're selling anything. For all they know right now, we're still a customer. They might be starting to go, yeah, this might be a salesperson, but they don't know for sure. And they know that we're just asking them one quick question. And so what it does is it focuses their mind, because it's not just about getting them to stay on the phone or getting them to, not kick us out of the store. We have to have their undivided, focused attention if we want to sell them something. And so we need to get them focused in. How do we do that? By narrowing the scope. I just have one quick question for you, right? Hey, one quick question for you. And when you say it like that, again, it's a negotiation in time, and it gets them in their mind to say, okay, I am going to give this person enough time to ask me one question. And so it's that negotiation in time that gets them to focus in and say, okay, I do have other things going on, but this person's going to ask me one question, so I'm going to listen to that one question and respond. And that's where we want them, so we can go ahead and ask our first question, which we'll talk about in the next video.